listen to the lullaby of Broadway.
Hi, my name is Ann Morrison. I'm a professional actor, singer, playwright, director, and I'm one of the guest artists at Broadway Theater Project's intensive this summer called Shaping the Artist. And I thought it'd be fun for all of you to kind of meet the core teachers that's going to be a part of this wonderful program this summer. You usually look at a website and all you see are these still pictures, but wouldn't it be kind of fun to kind of know who they are to core? So, let's meet the group. Deborah McWaters, who's the president and co-artistic director of Broadway Theater Project, and Herman Payne, co-artistic director and director of the dance department, and Blake Cohealy, who's the executive director. We have Tucker Tab DeGregory, who is the program director, and Alexander LaPlante, music director. We have Merrick Henry and Talik Hill, who are co-company managers. So, let's meet the group. Let's go. Hey, everybody. How are ya?
Hey, okay.
Hi.
Oh, hi. I see Tucker, raise your hand.
Hi,
Yay.
Ann.
And Merrick, raise your hand. I'm from where I am. There's Deb down there. Hi, Deb. Wave your hand.
Hey.
Yay. And there is Talik.
I'm going to do jazz hands.
Oh, jazz hands. And I got Herman over here. Yay. And we got Blake down below, or maybe above. I don't know where we are on the screen.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I'll go anywhere.
Okay.
we've heard that about you.
And Alex, our musical director, may pop in. He's been really big. He's doing 3 shows at the same time? Is that what's going on?
3 shows simultaneously.
Oh my God. How do you do
I
that?
think music directing all 3.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
He's not performing them at the same time. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. No, I think he's just music director. I think, well, yeah, probably playing the piano, right?
Okay. Well, Elaine Stritch talks about how she did 2 shows. She one act, and then she would race off to do the second act somewhere else. So it is possible.
Yeah, it is. It's true. And he's good.
It's really good. So let's talk a little bit about what we're doing.
Yes.
It's been a
let's do it.
while. And Deb, why don't you talk a little bit about this Shaping the Artist, because it's such a cool idea.
We've been closed since COVID, and we had just was a hard time coming back, especially since we use University of South Florida on
Right.
campus. And so they had their problems, and they had to take care of their people first, and then we were in line to be able to come back and become a part of the campus again. So it came up in this year, and we started thinking we want to do something because we miss this so much, and people have been asking about it. But we knew we wanted to do something maybe a little different.
Mhm.
As you know, since we're re-entering, and it's a great chance to do something different. So Blake and I batted around some ideas, batted around with Herman, and then we all thought this could be very cool. And then, of course, we talked to you, and it's called Shaping the Artist. BTP presents Shaping the Artist. And it's going to run for 10 days as opposed to 3 weeks. And what we're doing is we want to concentrate on things, not make it so much technique ridden, but certainly techniques in there. You couldn't get that away from us. We love it, teaching it. But we want to look at what the next step is, and where can you take what you learn, or in a particular area that you feel comfortable. Start exploring dynamics in music, perhaps a little more thoroughly, so that they can add that to whatever their repertoire is, be it in acting or in dancing, especially. For me, that's a biggie. And the dynamics. We want to talk about the art of auditioning, as opposed to just, how do I get in there and do the first step? The art of improv, because that's something that there's more of, and certainly the world of Fosse, where Herman and I played for a while, excuse me, our shows had a lot of improv. The shows we did at BTP, when we would tie the numbers together, had a lot of improv. Art of collaboration, which is crucial. And it's the ability, the ability to put something together themselves with their friends. They may not always be in a show, and so they could create a show. And that's the kind of thing that we want to do. And we
Right.
ideally, no, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, what I loved about this is that so many of these programs that happen where you have a lot of, like, there are a lot of them now.
Yeah,
But what I've found interesting and unique about this is that it's a smaller group of people, so you can really hone in on exactly what a student might want instead of a
right.
large group, and they feel they get a little bit of this, but they don't really get um, attention. Like, I think I've got this, but I really need some extra help on something else. And that's what I thought was really gold about this project.
That's great. I'm glad. We're trying to cover everything. We're only looking at 12 students. So it's very intense as far as the amount of attention they'll get, and hopefully as far as how much ground they can cover
Right.
in that period of time. They are going to be asked to bring a piece that they feel absolutely great about doing and very comfortable, and then a piece they don't feel comfortable doing. And then as a faculty, and our guest artists who come in as faculty, we're going to work on these things with them and in a collaborative fashion, and see if we can somehow take them to a different level. Maybe they don't know it could go to a different level.
Right.
And then take the one that they feel not as comfortable and see what we can do to help them analyze it and see where, the corrections may lie for them. And
Right.
so, and then we're going to have mentors, which we will assign soon, because we want everybody to be in touch with them, the students, prior to the summer. And so that we're really establishing this close connection early.
Right.
And we'll know each other by the time we get there.
Good. Yeah. Well, I kind of already know you now.
I do. It's nice. I like that. We know all these guys, sort of.
I know. So, Herman, what do you want to focus on this particular time?
Really concentrating on their skill set,
Mhm.
their comfortability, but then also helping them understand a different onsite of pedagogy that we are used to having and also experiencing, and making that kind of a part of their whole vernacular, in itself. Just really just honing in and really giving them that real foundation of, themselves. We want to bring the best out of them, and we really want to kind of like organically get to that place with us in the room, kind of pushing them into the right direction. I mean, I think, when you're working with artists, when there's a collaborative insight and when there's a great focus in that, people make magic. And that's what we want them to continue to kind of build, but then also utilize what collaboration can also help. I mean, I think what I've learned mostly is that if you have a great work ethic when it comes to ensemble work and working together, you can really build a really beautiful foundation of great energy. So we want them to kind of go away with that type of like mindset as well.
And you're so nurturing and loving and fun in your classes. It's always, I love to watch your classes.
I know, he's terrific.
It's fun. It's actually, those building blocks have actually come out, and I'm excited to get involved again. I miss BTP so much, and I love working with all of these amazing and nurturing artists. I've learned so much from Deb. I've learned so much from you, Annie. I've learned tons, from Blake.
We learn from each other.
Yeah.
We've all helped each other, and this is what's so exciting for me. So I can't wait.
Right. I also love that after a while, we started discovering team teaching in a way. We go into each other's classes and team teach, which is really helpful. And you don't get enough of that. What's your focus on, Blake? What are you thinking?
So I actually going to come from a different perspective. Deb talked a little bit about how the program is evolving and the nuances that we're kind of adapting. But I want to make sure that we value add that all of the people on the screen right now are all practicing artists.
Mhm.
And that is something unique to BTP. That's what we're looking for, is a little bit of that mentorship that Deb said, but then also all our guest artists that are coming in that are going to shape our day a little bit different. So we're actually going to have, for instance, I'm going to use you, Annie. We're going to have Annie come in, and then we're going to have her do a piece of her one-woman show for the students, for the apprentices. And then the next day, give them a little taste of what you do, how you made that process work, where it came from, and then the nuances of becoming that one-woman show, so that they can actually use that in their mindset of moving forward as they do, and they shape their own artistry. It's kind of a very, very unique way of looking at individual artists and then taking them to the next level, or like we would say, the next step, the next logical step, if you will.
Right.
So
Well,
I'm kind of excited about.
I'm excited about that too. I'm really excited.
Yeah, that's great.
Of course, I don't know if Merrick wants to do a one-woman show, though. Do you want to do a one-woman
Hey,
show, Merrick?
we're not cutting out anything.
I'm game for anything, honestly. Y'all know me.
What are you
Yeah, I
looking
know,
forward
yeah.
to, Merrick?
Truth be told, I am really excited to kind of learn from the incoming apprentices how kind of sort of get a better understanding of what they've grown up into, from 2020 up to this point, and just have a better understanding of where they're at in their journey, but also just, from all of the new ideas and technologies that they've worked with, kind of in some ways we can learn from them also. I'm
Of
super
course.
excited to be a part of the faculty where we can, contribute to their growth as artists and as people, to better work with others. But I'm also kind of just excited to see what they're bringing to the table. Everyone's coming from all over the country and merging into this one special place at this one unique point in time. And I'm really just curious where they're all at and what we can learn from them, for us as practicing artists ourselves.
It makes us better frequently.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, don't you feel, Tucker, that we're always growing? I mean, because I've known you since you were a student, I mean, talk about that, because you were with us as a student and now you're doing it. You're up there with us.
Yeah, so I started with you guys for BTP2 when I was
Yeah.
13, 14.
Yeah, little boy.
Yes.
Oh, my lass.
And I was so scared of Herman.
Oh, God.
And then he became this incredible mentor, all of you all, such incredible mentors and guides for me. Yeah, and then I was an apprentice for multiple years, including the year on the cruise ship. And
Oh my God, the cruise ship.
Yes.
Oh,
Interned
yeah.
with you guys. I remember observing one of Blake's classes and taking notes fervently.
No.
Because I wanted to be a choreographer and a dance instructor. And then went into marketing and PR with you guys for a summer, and then helped with Deb doing assistant artistic direction and program direction during 2020, during our online years.
Yes.
Cool to see the program evolve and shift in so many ways. But something that I really value and have always valued is that you guys have always treated us like young adults and seen us as the next generation of artists, not as babies or as just students. Even from the language you guys have used, apprentice, right? I mean, we've always used that term when talking about the students who are involved in the project. So I just feel there's a deep respect that has been passed down from the top. It makes for such a cool collaborative environment between the faculty and the students.
Yeah.
That we're all on an equal playing field and learning from each other and sharing our gifts and our knowledge and our experiences. It doesn't feel like it's belittling or, that anybody's holier than thou. So I think that's a really unique thing about BTP.
Right.
And
now as a teacher, I wanted to carry that into my practices too, whether it's at BTP or what I'm doing during the school year at my school. I try to really bring that same type of respect, the same vocabulary, the same equalization into the room. So thank you for gifting me.
You do. He's made quite a name for himself.
Yeah, Talik,
So
tell
proud.
us what's going on with you, dude.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Was it something I said?
yes, of course it was. You offended me. Well, I'm beyond excited to be back in the room where it happens, pun intended. BTP has definitely, as well as every single person in these squares, has changed my life for the better as an artist, as a person. And, it's really there's no dollar amount that you can put on this experience. There's really no dollar amount you put on this experience. Like, I can look at each and every person, and it's like you have such a rich history and a rich set of skills and a rich set of experiences. Like, you're literally getting to work with living legends, trailblazers, pioneers, even though they may be a little modest. I'm gonna give them their flowers every time. You're literally working with the best of the best, the cream of the crop. And it's just such a great experience to get to learn and exist in the same rooms with these people, but also to get a very high level of education that you may not get other places. Because, things are a little different nowadays where, a lot of the things that, everybody wants to change everything as we're evolving. Evolving doesn't mean that we have to skim on the things foundationally that work. Because if you don't have a foundation, what are we building on? You can't build on a shaky foundation, so there's things that should be there and that, you should keep in your programs and implement in your programs at a high level, especially in this kind of industry, even though this kind of program is more tailored to, giving more ownership of your own thing, whatever it is that you're working on, it has to be, or it should be at a high level. And I think that's what you're going to get from this program and working with all these artists with their skill sets and their knowledge and their expertise. It's literally one of the best things that I've encountered. And like Tucker said, I carry that everywhere with me. BTP is one of the reasons why I have very high standards and why it's very hard to just get anything past me. It's very hard to just do anything any old kind of way. Like, BTP is one of the reasons why it's like, all right, we gotta dial it up,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
so yeah, I'm definitely excited to be a part of it again, because after the whole COVID thing and all that happened, it was kind of like, where are we going to go from here? I did the virtual program and that was interesting. I did the in-person programs, so
I know.
definitely great to finally be back and to
That's something I want
get
to talk about too, because we have been dealing with people who've been so stuck on the COVID problem in the sense that it's getting back and being social again and not oversensitive and actually have eye contact and connection. Do you think that's going to be interesting or a challenge, or do you think that everybody's so excited about really coming together again that's going to be fun, or do you think this will be a what's your take on all that?
I think at this point, everybody's kind of ready to, or has already been accustomed to being in person. I don't think everyone is, that the Zoom thing is not so much of a norm as it was before, where that's the only thing we have. Like, we have the in-person to supplement that. So I think everybody is just ready to get back into something in person, feel, live, breathe the same air as other people.
Yeah, I think so too. And I know with this group, I think that there's just a strong desire for us to get back, because what makes this thing roll so beautifully, I think, is the fact that we have such creative people who are risk takers and who also support each other.
Right.
And it's so I think that adds a lot to it. We've all been working so very hard toward this goal, and I think that shows up in the training that we ultimately leave these people with.
Right.
Though we don't pretend to be the ones who train them completely. Obviously, they came from good places. We're just augmenting and giving another little viewpoint to things. But we only have 10 days, and I think we have almost every day covered with a guest artist who's going to do a show.
You want to talk about who those guest artists are?
Sure. We have you, and who's been with us forever, who's a star, a real star. Sondheim, Wonder Woman. She's
I'm
Come on, girl. Come on.
And watching you knowing about your star rising when you were so young, and Merrily We Roll Along with Stephen and Hal, and watching what you've done, giving back to everyone. You're the most generous person, but you also give the most clever classes I've ever seen, and it turns students on so much, and they're able to do anything. They drop anything because you do. You put yourself out there, and you really have a way to make them relate. And so you're first up actually on our program. So you're gonna, from what I understand, Andy, and you can tell me if this is wrong, you're going to do part of your one-woman show on
Sure, might as well.
based about, yeah, which is what I keep bragging about. And it's an incredible show. But then I know you said you might do some stop and starts or whatever to talk about the actual background while you guys were building merely. We roll along, which is a whole different thing than the one that's going on now. It's, and that's an interesting thing that I think you can speak about. We have Brenda Braxton coming.
Yay.
So that's very exciting. I saw her first of all in Smokey Joe's, and of course she's been in Jelly's Last Jam. She's been in Chicago, and TV. She does a lot of roles there. She's very popular on Norwegian. They love her there, so she'll come in and do a little guest stint. But she's going to come in and do a show also.
Good.
It's always going to be from 6 to 8 in the evening, and it's only open to the apprentices and to the faculty, no one else. So we're getting this private showing that is amazing. And then the next day, she'll be here, teaching master class, doing Q&A. And then we have
Alex coming in right now.
Yeah, that's right. So then we have Eric Jordan Young, who some of us have known for a very long time. He was in Chicago, our road show. He's since gone on, actually he was in Look of Love also. I worked with him on both of those. But he's gone on to become quite a choreographer, definitely an artist. He has several one-man shows. So he's going to come in and do his. He has played everything from ragtime out in Vegas and all over. He's very and right now he's a professor. And then we have let's see, Blake, help me out here on
Jake.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was I shouldn't have needed Jake Kodich, yeah, who is an alum of ours, and actually he was in Herman's what was it, Herman? Smooth Criminal.
Smooth Criminal.
One of the best pieces we've ever had. And Jake was in that. He was our focal point. But he's a terrific choreographer, excellent teacher. And we've watched him on YouTube a lot, just trying to keep up with him. But the thing that I found so interesting about it is that he, other than also being backup dancer for Taylor Swift, and he said Prince, he gave me a whole list of people. He's worked with Jungkook from BTS, the K-pop band that has taken over the world. Jungkook is one of the members who's gone. They're all in the military right now in Korea, but Jungkook has broken out to become this massive pop star in the United States, over in the where in Korea and Japan, all those guys. But Jake was a backup dancer for him recently, and we all are familiar with the fact, and I'm sure you are too, that there was a show called K-pop that was on Broadway, and I think it's important for the students to learn other things, and this is definitely a very different style, and I want to learn what he's teaching as far as from this one number that he did with Jungkook. It's a number that Jungkook also did with Usher, and it's called Standing Next to You. But I'm sure that even with the dance background I have, who knows if I'll be able to do this. So anyone who comes in who doesn't feel that they are as adept at dance, don't worry about it, because you never know what you're going to fit into. and what you might have a little more trouble getting into. For me, I'm not a ballerina, that's for sure. Herman, he can go, you know, pretty much from A to Z, but I slip into a turn in with Fosse beautifully. That's not a problem. And then we have Scott Wojcik, who is a casting director. Actually, he owns his casting company in New York. He's coming down with Michael Rodriguez, who has his own talent agency. So they're going to work with the students on, and I love when they do this, auditioning, and they look at it from two different viewpoints, from the viewpoint of a casting agent for a show and a viewpoint from a talent agent.
Very cool.
That's very, very different. And then
Carmeet.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm glad you're Carmeet, who's a very good friend of ours. Carmeet Bakar, who is one of the original Pussycat Dolls. And she was introduced to me by Herman, and because she wanted to do Broadway, and she still wants to do Broadway. And actually, Broadway is interested in her. But in the meantime, since the Pussycat Dolls have, you know, kind of put things away, she is experimenting in all sorts of things. As a presenter, she's involved in fashion. She's been modeling in these with articles about her. She's just beautiful enough to do, you know, this high fashion modeling also on print. And she sings. She was an incredible dancer who danced with Beyonce, Ricky Martin, danced with who else, Herman? You've
Janet
got
Jackson,
I was going to say Michael, yeah.
Janet Jackson.
At that Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but her interest is singing, because that was what she didn't have as much chance to do when she was a Pussycat Doll. So now she's really exercising that, and she wants to work with that with the students, and maybe marrying the two, because that's very difficult, as everybody knows, dancing and singing, and making that something that works well.
Right.
Hey,
and
Deb.
And then you got Michael Orland.
That's what I was about to say. Don't forget our good friend, Michael. Yep.
I was going to wrap up with Michael Orland. Michael has been a friend of the project for years, and I mean a really vocal friend of the project, and everyone loves him. He's funny. He is so accomplished. He was music director, associate music director on American Idol for 16 years, I think. Now he's partnered with Kristen Chenoweth in a lot of her concertizing around. Works with her on her score.
Played for me in cabaret, and
there you go.
The cabaret scene back in LA, back in what, the late 80s? We go
funny?
way back.
And he also worked with Carmeet on sending things for us to work on, Herman and Carmeet and I. But he was playing the piano and coaching her vocals. So Michael's going to be our wrap up. And what he's going to do is open mic night with BTP apprentices and friends. And so we're going to see, because some people have, and that's you, Herman, you're going to be all over.
I cannot wait. Oh my God.
So, you know, we've got you there, Annie, who's worked with them, Carmeet, if her schedule works in that way. And to have you guys being a part of this, as well as the students being able to get up and do open mic, is a great way for this to end. A great send-off for the summer.
I think it's really fun. What a fun deal. We have Alex, you joined us. How are you, kiddo? In a little darkness in front
I'm
of you.
good.
How you doing?
Yeah,
Hey.
I'm good. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm currently in rehearsals for Pump Boys and Dinettes, so I'm going crazy on a piano, and we blocked Bowers just recently, so I just launched myself off a piano 3 or 4 times, so I'm a little sore, but I'm here.
Oh, we're so glad.
Yeah, and you're going to be musically directing this whole summer, aren't you?
Yes, yeah, I am your music director. So any music needs, anything in advance, please send it my way.
You and I got to
As
get
you
Uh-huh.
guys know, I've played for
They're like playing.
yes, we do. Yes.
Yeah, he's gonna be, Alex is also an alum.
I
We've
know.
got, we have Tucker, we have Talik, we have Merrick, we have Alex. So this generation that we worked with is coming in to augment this older group. And
It's an honor, honestly, just throwing that out there.
thank you. It is for us too, honestly. And so Alex is not only going to be playing for the classes for the students, but he's going to be playing for the shows if there's live, if for whomever needs an accompanist. So this is going to be quite a busy period of time for you, Alex.
I'm dizzy already just thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm
I'm
always down for a challenge.
Yeah, you are.
I think this is great. Well, this has been wonderful because, like I said earlier, when I was a kid and I was looking at, teachers and instructors and something, and they were just their pictures, and you read a little blurb under them, I always wondered, what were they like? Do they talk to each other? Do they like each other?
I know.
Do they smile ever? Do they whatever? So it's been fun to just get to see all of you, and I miss you terribly. And before you know it, we're going to be exhausting each other at the end of the week.
I hope so. I think that'll be great. It's a
That'd
good
be awesome.
exhaustion. It's a good exhaustion. Yeah.
If there are still some people who want to join in, what should they do, Deb? What should they do, Blake?
I think we have, especially, we're getting very close to where we would shut, but I know that if we find someone, we find people who are really the right person, just perfect, we would certainly not let a number that we said be the cutoff. But Blake, go ahead.
A different way to rephrase what Deb just said, and a little what I like to say is a little kinder, is what we're doing with the apprentice group is we're building an ensemble. And that's what we've really looked at through the audition package. So if someone comes along that is really a match for the ensemble, then all they've got to do simply is just make sure that they get everything in and get it in quickly. Quickly.
That's good.
Yeah, that's the best thing. And they can, and we'll get the answer back to them very, very quickly. And actually, we refer to these people once they're here as our company.
Right.
And Merrick and Talik are serving as company managers for this. So we start hitting a professional tone immediately. But I think that we would love to see a lot of wonderful people come in through here. We obviously are limited somewhat, but it's not too late to do this. And the thing that we've done, which might make it easier because everybody is recovering from COVID as far as financially, etc. But we've got a long payment plan of small payments that can be made. Yeah, to make it, more comfortable. And then we also have a PayPal situation where if you sign up with it, they give you 6 months to pay.
Oh, excellent.
Interest free. So we had a lot of people use that in the past. And
so when
we're making it comfortable.
When people come, are they staying in dorms, or how is it all working?
Blake, you want to go ahead?
Sure. So the tuition covers, of course, all of the instruction. It also covers lunch and dinner on the campus of USF, which is pretty cool. The food is really good.
It is good.
Great variety of choices and selections. But housing is going to be left up to each of the apprentices. We've got a couple of suggestions, a couple of hotels that BTP has worked closely with in the past, and they've given us a couple good deals.
Oh, great.
But I know one family is actually getting an Airbnb right down the road. We've got another family looking at a hotel that is not on our list at all, but it's something their parents have points in, so they're using that. They're being really creative on how things are working.
Oh, great.
But it's that should not be the factor. We'll help you. We'll point you in the right direction. And we've got lots of guidelines and assistance to make sure that they are where they need to be.
Excellent. Okay. I'm excited. Okay.
I am too.
Does anybody else
And
have a last minute thing they need to say before we all get together and have a great time?
Be ready.
BTP is the place to be this summer. That's
Yeah.
it's been for all of us for many years. And if you're thinking about it still and you're on the fence, BTP is the place to be if you want to get to that next level in your professional development, your career, whatever.
Yeah, that's true. And we really love working with students. It's a passion. That's why we're all still here. This is 30 years for me. How many for you, Herman?
Since 2005, count that.
Yeah. And Blake, yours since what, 2012 or?
2012. Yep.
And Annie, you too, right?
I don't remember. When COVID happened, I lost 3 years. Time means nothing
Yeah,
to
I know.
Just a construct, yeah.
Right.
It really is.
But if there's anything that anyone has a question on and they'd like to audition, don't just assume things, call, because we try to make it work.
Yeah, and it's right there on the
you can
website. Right there. And on our little video, I'll have it at the end too if anyone wants to go, oh, let me write that down. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I love you madly. Can't wait to play with everybody.
Oh, love you all too. Thank you.
Too.
Thank you. All right.
Oh my God. Bye.
So
Bye,
excited.
see you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Take care.
Although